Right out here in a private pond, landowner contacted me. He said he's got a bunch of beaver out here, been taking down all of his hardwoods. He's got an aerator out here, keeping the water open. He's got some panfish and stuff in here. But since there's open water, the beaver have been coming up here on shore and getting some fresh sticks. Got a red oak here that's down. They just chewed on a couple days ago. So what I'm going to do is, I actually came out yesterday just scouting. It was above freezing, so I didn't set any snares. I did set two baited conibears out there by there's two beaver houses. I'll replace those today with snare poles. But I'm also found a banked end on the other side over there. Put a 330 conibear in front of that. It's real shallow though. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. So there's my snare pole setup everybody's seen before. What I'm doing a little different right now, since it's just barely below freezing, it's like right at 30-31 degrees, is I chop my hole real narrow. So the idea is if it's not frozen solid, when a beaver gets caught, he won't be able to come up through that hole. I guess if he's just a little kit. But I only cut that about 4 inches wide. Normally I do 6 or 8 inches, but and just slide that down there. So we got about 5 or 6 inches of ice. So I'm hanging my snares down about 7 inches, just so they're sitting about 1 inch below the ice. And I scrape the bark off this aspen pole so they can see it better. Here at this private pond, and we just got another bunch of snow, about 7-8 inches. So I'm coming out earlier than expected to check my traps. I had a snare set right there, and we can see that pole is gone. The ice is all broken out. So I'm concerned it wasn't cold enough. The snare didn't get frozen in, and a beaver got caught and pulled my snare under. The good news is I had that 330 conibear set right here, and it sprung. So I'm going to pull it up, and hopefully we got a beaver with a snare on its neck. That would be nice. We got one of your otters. So not a beaver, but got an otter that's been eating all of his fish, so that's good. Still got a tag left. All right, so the good news is that that beaver didn't get away. The reason the ice was broken, there was all that snow moved on top of the ice, is because he came up on top of the ice to chew off the top of the stick as well as the bottom, which is fine. I mean, I'd rather that happen than him get away with my snare on him. Back on this private pond for the second check. Last time the beaver chewed off that snare pole over there completely underneath, and then they came up on top of the ice and chewed off the top part. And I caught that big giant XL otter in that bank hole set over there. And both of those are untouched today. And I haven't checked this one yet. I just chopped it out and I can't see the snares. There were some big air bubbles there, so I'm going to stick my hand down in there and see if we got anything. Okay, the snare is twisted around the pole, so that is a really good sign. Oh, there's some weight on there. That is a big one. Yeah, that's a big beaver. Not super dark. Over 50 pounds. Real close to 60 is my guess. I did put in a couple of those baited muskrat traps just for fun, and so on this stick I actually had 2 of the 110 conibears, and then I just throw a little baby carrot on there, and if there's muskrats in the area, which they normally hang around old beaver houses or even active beaver houses, but yeah, they're actually, these might be worth a couple bucks this year, $4 or $5. So Alright, well, we got a couple more traps, but I'm probably going to end up pulling almost all of them here today because there's a lot of fresh ice. There's six or 7 inches of fresh ice. Alright, so I pulled up everything. There was just all the snares are frozen in, but I did reset a couple here by the open water where the aerator's at. Got a snare pole there, and then a snare pole and a baited 330 conver there. So those are the only 3 I have on the pond. I'm hoping this open water will bring the beaver down here, and I think part of the problem is they just have so much food up there around their house that, you know, they weren't interested or didn't see my snare poles up there because they haven't been touched and they've been there for weeks. So I think maybe moving them down here closer, well, farther away from their feed bed where they might stumble upon them increases my chances. That one over there is where I caught the one and only beaver I got out of here. Alrighty, thanks for watching.